Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you. And welcome back to the Beta Planners. We are about to discuss the upcoming and newest expansion to Hearthstone, Journey to Un'Goro. Now, in the past, I never voiced any bold opinions about expansions because, well, I was a noob. And I didn't feel like it was quite appropriate to voice my opinion very strongly or at all. Now, I am still not the god among Hearthstone players, not by a long shot, but I have grown a little bit into it that I think I can make some predictions. Now, I am too small of a channel to go through every 135 cards that they have presented, because all of them have been revealed now, but I'm gonna give you what you need to know, the meta-defining cards, and the ones that, well, I predict, although they want to have it meta-defining, are not gonna make it. So without much further ado, here come my 10 categorized predictions for Un'Goro, or Journey to Un'Goro. The first one, you have to know that this new expansion introduces two new mechanics. Quests, we'll get to that in a moment, and Adapt. Adapt is a mechanic where, like Discover, you get 3 options out of a maximum pool of 10, and you can choose to gain whatever you like. So let's say I play a card of 6 mana, 5/5, and I get the option to add, for instance, +3 attack. I end up with an 8/5 for 6 mana. Decent stat line. You can also do the other way around, 5/8. Give it Divine Shield, Taunt, Poisonous, what have you. This is awesome in its flexibility. Really, it's really good in that sense. But it's also highly unpredictable. Now, most Adapt cards logically have only but once this adaptability, otherwise it would be too strong. I mean, a 6 mana 5/5 is not good. If you choose the option to give a +1/+1, 6 mana for 6/6, not good. A 6 mana 5/8, we're getting somewhere, but still, it's just a big body. Overall, I don't think that the strong options, like Divine Shield, I mean, it's highly dependable on the situation, and that's the good thing about it, but due to this unpredictability, Adapt is not going to be a mechanic that is actually going to be meta-defining. People are going to play with it. There are going to be some extreme meme moments that are going to be shown on the YouTubes. But it's not meta-defining. Some cards might see their way into some decks, but I say Adapt is going to fall by the wayside, just like Jousting did. A few Jousting cards made it, but most of them didn't. Time for my second prediction. A class that has been away for a while is going to return with a vengeance. Although its archetype doesn't change, it's going to have some very strong new motor to power it. And that is Beast Hunter. And that's all because of this quest card. By the way, I had to pluck the cards from several sites, so some of them have a white border around it. I apologize. But that's the Marsh Queen. So what are quests? Quests are epic spells. They're 1 mana and they always will be in your hand at the start of the game. That's a very important thing to note. That means that if you start with a coin, you only have 2 other cards to play afterwards. So something like renewal of your hand is very important, as well as having a very good curve. But what does the quest round to do? Quests play 7 1-cost minions. Reward is Queen Carnassa. Okay, but then it highly depends upon what the reward is. Very correct. Well, Queen Carnassa is a 5 mana 8/8. Don't worry, all the quest bonuses are ridiculously powerful. But the important thing is Battlecry, shovel 15 raptors into your deck. And she's a beast. Take this into account. So, these raptors, if you shovel them into your deck is going to be extremely full. Then you will never be able to be certain what you're going to draw. It's just going to be a downside, you say. Well, the raptors are a 1 mana 3/2 beast with Battlecry, draw a card. So actually you can cycle quite quickly through your deck without it being a problem. So you can feel the board like it's a stronger Onyxia. Ouch. That is powerful. So, in order to get to this quest, you of course have to have some beast cards. Well, actually, 1 mana cost cards. I'm not even sure if it was beast. Was it beasts? Let me check here. No, just 7 minions. You don't even need to play beasts, but I say beasts are going to be it. And do we have that new interesting 1 mana drop cards? Yes, we do. Like Jeweled Macaw. Battle cry, add a random beast to your hand. 1 mana, 1/1. This is a value card. Now, I could imagine that the meta would be perhaps requiring you to be a little bit more aggressive. Then you won't play Jeweled Macaw. And you probably will play something like the 1 mana 1/1 that summons another 1 mana 1/1. The alley cat and the other cat. Perhaps that will be more appropriate than the Jeweled Macaw. But another thing to note is, for instance, the Raptor Hatchling. 1 mana 2/1. Death Rattle, shuffle a 4/3 Raptor into your deck. And note again that is all beasts. So this 4/3, you say, is that a good card then? Because if that's 4 mana, it's bogus. No, it's 1 mana. 1 mana 4/3 and another beast. So if you put 2 Raptor Hatchling in it, you already have 4 1 mana drop cards. That's really good. But of course you need 7, and I already showed you a few other possibilities. Now there is a 3 mana card that... No, sorry, there's a 5 mana card, 3/5, that pulls 2 1 drop minions out of your deck in order to get there. So on turn 6, there's a good chance you get there if you have just a little bit luck of the draw and have that card. But then you can say, well, the 1 mana 4/3 is crazy, but the other ones before that are very strong. Well, if you want to buff them, don't worry. There are 2 new cards that will help you do that. First of all, the Crackling Razor Maw. Battlecry, Adapt a Friendly Beast. This is an adapt card I think will be in there. Why? It's a 2 mana 3/2, just like King's Elec. King's Elec is one of those jousting cards that you do find in decks sometimes from Hunter. If you see Hunter at all, I'm sorry, but... which, if you want the joust, you roll that card from your deck and put it into your hand. If you lose a joust, nothing won. This, however, always gets into effect. And unlike the Raptor card, that's 2 mana 3/2 that everybody has, this also has Adapt on top of it. The Adapt can make one of your 1/1s, for instance, a 2/2. Or you can make the 2/1 into a 3/2 for better trading. You can make it poisonous to take out something big. Crackling Razor Maw makes those little 1-drop tokens. Well, it gives other options. And what if you don't have it? Well, why not use a new card, Dinomancy? Your hero power becomes give a beast +2/+2. I am even having a hard time to pronounce it. This card is insane! You need but 1 copy of it. Now, I understand that makes it a little bit hard to pull out of your deck, but your beast get +2/+2. Your hero power does 2 damage to face normally. But +2/+2 gives you and that option as well as attacking some other stuff. And they have 2 health extra. This is an insane card by my knowledge. Dinomancy is going to push Beast Hunter into a meta-defining deck. So, are we then finished with Beast Hunters and old good cards? No. No. Because we had Lock and Load. Oh, let's change Lock and Load into Stampede. Each time you play a beast this turn, add a random beast to your hand. You got so many mechanics as Hunter now to and shuffle and pull your deck, as well as refill your hand. Something that Hunter always had trouble with, like either drawing your deck or refilling your hand. He has gotten options now that I was saying that Rexar is going to return. Yeah, I know you also have the Elven Lady, but there's only one Hunter, that's Rexar, right? Mork. But yeah, that is my first prediction. These cards will make sure that Beast Hunter returns. So, what is then the next deck that I think is going to be a meta deck? Well, it's a deck that we kind of saw fall the wayside because Pirate Warrior, right? That's the aggressive deck to be. And therefore we lost one of those decks that was considered a very strong staple in the meta. Zoolock. Now, after Zoolock fell a little bit away, so people tried discard lock. With some stronger things like Silverware Golem, that if you discard it, you get a free for free on the board. It was decent if things gone your way, but that's kinda hard at times. Well, don't worry. You can get rewarded now as Disco Lock, because it has a new quest called Lakari Sacrifice. Quest, discard 6 cards. Reward is the Nether Portal. So what is the Nether Portal? Well, the Nether Portal, unlike Queen Carnassa, opens a permanent portal that summons 3/2 imps. Alright. This is a card that stays on the board. This is it. This is the Nether Portal. And it always summons 2 3/2 imps on the board. So, forget people that try to constantly destroy your board with board clear, because you're always going to get those 3/2 imps. You will have a constant source of damage. Okay. That's not all, though. We aren't done yet with how well Disco Lock is being treated by Blizzard. Clutch Mother Zavas. Now, I have to admit, this requires both the legendary quest and the legendary card Queen Mother Zavas. That is the thing that I do dislike about this entire expansion. A lot of these meta-defining decks, yeah, require at least one legendary card, or otherwise quite a few of them, and that is a little like, come on, that's not really fair here, Hearthstone. You can't think that we can have all this. Certainly not for a guy like me who, look, I have a lot of other things I also spend money on. I have a beautiful home here. I have some cats, which, well, he's now sleeping, and I don't know where she is at. But yeah, so it's going to be another, which I complained about before, but it is going to be a bit pay to win. Not only because we're going to have more expansions, but these expansions also require us to have legendary cards. But before I sound like an old man, let's continue. Clutch Mother Zavas. When you discard this, give it +2/+2 and return it to your hand. What? Now, the fact that it's a beast, I don't know why. Are we going to get like another zoo, but a menagerie warlock? No, I don't think so. But also, beast, this looks more like a weird type of insect. I'm not sure if this is a beast. Insects don't really fall in beast category. Blizzard, don't know if you know, but okay. Actually, well, never mind. It's a bit weird to me. That's a beast. 2 mana, 2/2. If you discard it, it gets +2/+2. You still have to play it, but that means you have both the Clutch Mother Zavas, the Silverware Golem, and Fist of Jiraxxus doing 4 damage at random when it gets discarded. It means you have 5 cards that actually benefit from being discarded. Then let's add Malchezaar's Imp to refill your hand. Let's have, what are they called again? The 5/7 demons that have charge, discard 2. Yeah, well, that's one way to do it. Of course, we have Soulfire that does it with discarding 1, doing 4 damage for only 1 mana. Well, we have another card that can help. Say you are facing those aggressive pirate warriors. 4 mana, 3/8 taunt. Discard 2 random cards. It's a hefty cost, but for a very big taunt with a lot of health. Not even Arcanite Reaper can bust through this, even if it's upgraded once. It is a really healthy stat line. And with 3 attack, it can bust most cards on the other side of the board. Unfortunately, not, for instance, your Berserker, but it will stop, for instance, the 4/3 Charger with 4 mana. Oh dear. Now I forgot the name. Sorry. Something elite. It's a thing. For hell, scream! He screams. Sorry. But a Frothling Berserker, it won't kill. But the 3/8 stat line is really good. Put this for your defense. Have the demon, and you can discard as many cards as you want. And then you don't need to add too many other ones, along with Soulfire, which was a pretty good one, because that will kill a Frothling Berserker. That is 6 cards with discards, with a total discard, if you will, of 10. That is more than enough to have the quest. The quest will then be fulfilled somewhere around turn 6-7-ish. Don't forget your Disco Lock, so you also have a lot of small imps to fight for board. I think these cards together can do it and can bring Disco Lock into a meta-defining aggro deck. Then let's go to Shaman. Everybody loves Shaman, right? Oh, those strong, powerful Shaman cards. Actually, I do like Shaman. It's the one deck when I was developing mid-range Shaman. Later on in the meta, it became a deck-defining deck, which is kind of interesting to me. But, well, I doubt that enough people have seen my channel and would look back that I actually was doing that. But Shaman is going to lose some strong cards. It's gonna lose its Tunneler, its Drog Tunneler, because it's one free that gets boosted every time you have Overload, and it's going to lose Totem Golem. That is some early game loss. Now there is also Jade Shaman, but Jade Shaman, which is a mid-range type of deck, the problem is, unlike a Jade Druid, it cannot go infinite. That's a bit of a shame. But don't worry, there's a whole new archetype coming out for Shaman, and it's good. And it is Elemental Shaman. We started with a neutral card. 1 mana 2/1, which is already a decent set line. Battlecry frees an enemy. Wait, what? So, even late game, this can be good to prevent damage. That is really, really nice for a 1 mana card, to be honest. So, okay. Then let's have another 1 mana card. 2/1. Can't be targeted by spells or your powers. Hey, mage, no pinging my 2/1 elemental. That's pretty nice. Both 1 mana cards. What is so good about this deck? Well, 2 mana card. Battlecry, reduce the cost of elementals in your hand by 1. Now, I have to admit, it's a 2 mana 1/1. That is but the fact that it reduces cost by 1. Do people still remember the 2 mana 2 free make your max cheaper by 1, the Mech Warper? Yeah, this is new one, only its stat line is worse. Actually, I thought the Mech Warper was a 3 mana 2 free, I think. So this one definitely is worse in its stat line, and that's okay, because otherwise, wow, it would get out of control. But the fact that it's cheaper makes it easier to combo with other cards. So what are other cards then that can work? We have now 2 1 mana cards, and 1 2 mana card. Well, this is Hot Spring Guardian. Taunt, 3 mana 2/4. It's a decent stat line. It's not super, but, you know, Battlecry, restore 3 health. That's a cheap heal. A cheap heal with stat lines that are better than, for instance, your 1 mana 2/1 restore 2 health to you, than the neutral card that everybody starts with. The Troll, Shaman, or something like that. Or the one that we got in Mean Streets of Gadgetzan with the 2 mana, or 3 mana, I think, 2/2 restore 2 health. This stat line is better. It has Taunt, and it heals. That is a good card. It's simply a good card. Now, from the 3 mana, let's go into more defensive. Tolvir Stone Shaper. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Senjin, Meteor Master. Because same stat line, same mana cost. And you can say, you have to play an Elemental. I have already shown you quite a few Elementals on curve for 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. There's actually even a 1 mana card that I didn't add here, which is a 1 mana 1/2, and it gives you a 1 mana 1/2 in your hand. It's not that difficult in Elemental Shaman to trigger this guy. Let's go to the next card on 5 mana. We're still curving out. Now, until you have to see with Tolvir Stone Shaper, it's not an Elemental. It's very important, so it's a little harder to activate Servant of Calamos, but you will not always have the perfect curve. So, you know, it's fine. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, discover an Elemental. Okay, we have hand renewal. Wow, okay, so we have heals, we have hand renewal, we have 2 taunts. That's amazing. Well, let's go into the next guy. Stone Sentinel. If you have played an Elemental last turn, summon 2 free Elementals with taunt. Now, I know that the Shaman card 5/5 that summons a Jade with taunt can be better, certainly with Brand, but Brand is going out. Besides, this guy would then summon 4 guys, because it's both a Battlecry. And having divided over 2 bodies, yes, it does less damage, but It does protect you better. 7 mana 4/4, no more 4 mana 7/7, 7 mana 4/4. That's a pretty interesting card. And you know what? Let's blow up some enemies by using a Blaze Caller. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, deal 5 damage. Whoa! Fire Elemental ++, which, by the way, is a 6 mana, 6/5, and deal 3 damage. Works perfectly into this curve. And then if you've played this entire curve, and then you need but one legendary, why not play Calamos for real? Not his servant, but Calamos the Primal Lord. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, cast an Elemental Invocation. Invocations. You have the option of 4. Now, I don't know if you get the option to choose all 4, because normally Discovery is free, but they said I think it was 4, so let's go with that. Which gives you either fill the board with 1/1 Earth Elementals. Okay. We can do 6 damage to face. Enemy's face, by the way. 3 damage to the enemy's board. Board clear. Or we can heal ourselves for 12. Holy shoot! The possibilities are enormous. And also, wow. Shaman, Elemental Shaman, it is a competitive deck. And it's going to be there. And it's going to be, I think, better than Jade Shaman. And it's going to push that out. So, then we come to Priest. Dragon Priest is going to be there. Well, it's going to lose a few cards in this year because Black Rock Mountain is going out, which means a lot of cards are going out. And also Azure Drake is going into the Hall of Fame. Does that mean we will see no more of Priest? I don't think so. We're going to have a new Priest because Reno is gone. Well, still, Priest is going to be the hero of the heroes, as it should be. He has a quest called Awaken the Makers. Quest summon 7 Death Rattle minions. Reward Amara, Warden of Hope. Alright, Amara, Warden of Hope is a 5 mana, 8/8. Taunt, Battlecry, set your hero's health to 40. That's better than Reno. Ouch. And it has Taunt, so it can even save you from some damage. Now, of course, main answer to this is Alexstrasza. But Alexstrasza is not going to play it in some of these decks. It's probably going to be in some mage deck, but I will get to that. I'll get to that, don't worry. So, to be honest, this card is going to make help with what I would call the Immortal Priest deck. What is going to be else in this Immortal Priest deck? The Crystalline Oracle. Death Rattle, copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. 1 mana, 1/1. Is not good. You rather have a Swashbuckler, 1 mana, 1/1 Battlecry, get it? This is slower, but it's a Death Rattle, which is good for your quests. Another card that they have added that will be good for your quest is a little later in the curve. Tortolian Shellraiser. Taunt, Death Rattle, give a friendly minion +1/+1. That isn't a very good Death Rattle in my opinion. Not good enough, but the fact that it's 4 mana, 2/6 is a very strong health there. And it's Taunt, so it can stave you off from some damage. And we still have, for instance, Shifting Shade from 4 mana 4/3 as a Death Rattle, which can be used. Concerning all these options, there are some Death Rattles that I think can make use. And let's not forget, what about N'Zoth? Add N'Zoth and these guys will come back, and all of a sudden, late game, after the N'Zoth turn, all these guys come back, you will fulfill your quest, can push, then throw down a Warden of Hope later, set your health to 40. It is incredible. Now, I'm not sure if Priest can survive until the end, but what if you tried, for instance, I don't know, throw in the Darkshire Alchemist, which I think is her name, the 4/5 card that heals you for 5 health. Pretty nice. Well, there's also other ways, however, to survive. For instance, Binding Heal. Restore 5 health to your minion and your hero. What? 1 mana. 1 freaking mana. Restore 5 health to your minion and your hero. Now, I think you do need a minion to be hurt to trigger this, but because Priest's minions said to have high health, I don't think that's a problem. This is an amazing card. That's 10 healing for 1 mana. The biggest newest potion we got 4 mana heals 12 health. Yes, it's more to your hero, but 1 mana, holy frickin' zoot. And if you think it is too costly, well, you know what? Let's give you a Radiant Elemental. Your spells cost 1 less. 2 mana, 2 free is a very decent stat line. Ouch. Combine this, for instance, with the, how was he called again? The big-ass old Priest of the Feast. Free 6. Add some spells. Get some extra healing. Wow. Healing the Immortal Priest. Priest of the Feast. Darkshire Alchemist. This guy throwing the binding spell that I just showed you. Even the all-powerful word, power spell, Power World Shield will be good with Priest of the Feast. I think we're going to have a priest that heals constantly. I don't know if it's an A tier deck. It might be a B because you need to get perhaps Nazalf in there. And I don't think that's going to be as good. So I think it's a B tier deck. But people are going to play it and you're going to get furious with the amount of heals they are going to get. People who love OTK decks. We know, for instance, of Malagos, Kuhn, Aviana, Druid. It's an OTK deck. We had the OTK Warrior deck, but that got removed. Well, they have added a new OTK mechanic. With Mage, of all cards. Quest. Cast 6 spells that didn't start in your deck. Reward Time Warp. Okay, let me think here. Babbling Book. 1 mana, 1/1, get a spell. Kabbalah's Tome. Okay. That gives me 3 spells as well. That's a little on the short side. Well, 2 Babbling Books, perhaps. It's still a little short. Is this worth it? Well, take an extra turn. Wait, doesn't that set up OTK turns? Yes, it does. Very astute. Why? I tell you what the idea is. Besides, you want more spells to discover? Add a random mage spell to your hand. Voila! Shimmering Tempest. You have now 6 cards. Or you do it with 2 Kabbalah's Tomes. And you have enough spells. Alright? The new Freeze Mage is here. You have lost your beloved Ice Shard, I think it is. If you... Ice Lance, sorry, I knew I was saying that wrong. Ice Lance, which means you don't have that burst potential anymore. But if you have Time Warp, here's what you do. You discover a lot of spells, you freeze the board, keep in time to cast all these spells. If you're in need of Ice Block, and you want that in your deck, let me get to that, you can use Arcanologist. 2 mana, 2 free, decent set line, draw a secret from your deck as a battle cry. We still have Ice Barrier, we still have Ice Block. Alright, we lost Ice Lance. We also have the ability to use Discover a Spell, reduce its cost by 2. I think this is even a better card, Primordial Glyph, than is the Shimmering Tempest, because it's both 2 mana, 2/1. There is a body attached here, but the fact that the spell here reduces its cost by 2 is amazing. So, and besides it's Discover, so you have 3 options. So actually, I would say Babbling Book, the Primordial Glyph, Kabbalah's Tome. Perhaps with just 1. Freeze Mage. Freeze the board. Freeze the board. Freeze the board. Use Ice Block. Get Arcane Giants on the board for very low cost mana when you cast Time Warp. We are now in turn 10 already. We are Freeze Mage. We have a lot of recycling and what have you not. We put down the Arcane Giants after we play Time Warp. That's quite possible, certainly with Primordial Glyph being a spell that casts a new spell. Now we have 2 Arcane Giants stand on the board. We take our extra turn, we throw down Alexstrasza, which also helps against Amara Warden of Hope. Boom! OTK! Because you set the enemy hero to 15, hit it with 2 Arcane Giants, that's 16 damage, -1. Even if the guy had 1 armor for one reason. He is dead. OTK Quest Mage. And I think it's going to be possibly an A tier deck. Because Freeze Mage was seen a lot in the Winter Hearthstone Championship. Well, let me get back to the next deck, and that is a prediction of mine. Another prediction, we have still 4 left, is Meme Rogue. Meme Rogue? Yeah, this is not going to be A tier, but it is going to be funny. This is going to be so bad and so funny at the same time. Quest. Play 4 minions with the same name. Reward Crystal Core. I by accident didn't add that card, I just noticed, but 5 mana. Every minion you play becomes 5/5. Oh, wait, that third package you have in Rogue, right? With Swashbuckling Buccaneer. Sorry, that's not Swashbuckler, Southsea Deckhand, Patches. All of those are very low level. If you Shadow Step them, they will be very cheap. Or Gang Up. You just need Shadow Step and Gang Up, and you can easily do this. Even better because it does say play 4 minions. Very important to know. It's not summon. You have to play each one of them. But say you manage to trigger that and you play a pirate, I'm in charge now. And from Shadow Step, that's a lot of 5/5s on the board all of a sudden. Now it's so. Even if you don't manage it with him, why not with a Swashbuckler? Get a lot of extra cards from the other guy. And get all the guys to be 5/5. SI Agent, not a bad card. It's normally free with 2 damage on board. If it gets to 5/5, it can be nice. I think this is actually doable. I don't think it's an A tier deck. I think it's a B tier deck. But it's... You are going to... If you see that cannon fire 6 patches... On the other end of the spectrum, I'm still going to laugh if I hear... Well, unfortunately, you won't hear from I'm in charge now, but it will be going off in my mind like a rapid fire gun. Wow. But yeah, I say people are going to try this meme deck. I don't think it's A tier, but it's B tier enough that you're going to see it around. So, then I'm going to make new legendary calls that you will want to look out for. I don't know yet in which deck they will come. First of all, it's the new and I don't want to say it's improved, but it's a new Elise, this Trill, well, not Starseeker, it's not a Trill. 5 mana, 5/5, so she, I don't know what she did, she apparently went into Unguru, had to fight off some dinosaurs and apparently buffed her strength. But, 5 mana, 5/5, Battlecry, shovel an Unguru pack into your deck. What the hell is that? Instead of making all your cards legendary, shuffle the map to get then the golden monkey, which was like very slow. This is a little quicker. Add 5 journey to Ungoro cards to your hand. Actually, it's a pack. You open the pack and they come into your hand. This is better than you think. Why? If I heard the devs say, when they were developing that it was planned that you would get 1 legendary, 1 epic, 1 rare, at least these 3, and then commons. So, it's... You could say, get an elite Unguru pack, if this is indeed still true. Then it is a pretty decent card. Another card that could help actually with, for instance, Death Rattles, for both the Immortal Priest, as perhaps still the Death Rattle Hunter that's out there, is Spirit Singer Umbra. 4 mana 3/4, after you summon a minion, trigger its Death Rattle effect. Wait, what? So, the Death Rattle becomes a battle cry, more or less, and it still has a Death Rattle. That can be pretty powerful. Now, it won't help you to summon more Death Rattle minions for the Immortal Priest, but for Death Rattles for a Hunter, if you still wanted to play Death Rattle Hunter, that can help a lot. This feels like this is the new version of Baron Riverdare. You don't trigger the Death Rattle twice, so you trigger it immediately and then afterwards. Actually, this is easier setup than Baron Riverdare. Now, Baron Riverdare did have 1 mana, 1 attack and 7 health. Pretty horrible in its attack. Was a bit more survivable though, because this can be really easy to be killed. The advantage also of him was that I once killed people with it back in the day, because I did Divine Spirit Inner Fire, and with 1/7, woohoo, that's a lot of damage all of a sudden. Still, I think this is a nice card, and I think it will be there. Time for my 9th prediction. The cards that will not be played. These are the meta defining. They wanted to make meta defining, I think, but that will not be played. First up, the Paladin secret. Paladin still is gonna cry in the corner. I don't think it's gonna work. It says cast 6 spells on your minions, reward Galvadon. Now, there is a new spell that is awesome. It's 6 mana, give your minion 2/6 plus taunt, and if it dies, you shovel a card into your deck, which is a dinosaur, which costs 4 mana, which is a 2/6 taunt. 2/6 taunt is like Sentient Shieldmaster. Only more health, so it survives more. Does a little less damage, but still. For 6 mana, Power Tentacles was already a joke, but now it's even more crying in the corner. For 1 mana more, I get 2/6 as well, plus taunt. Okay, that's normal, but I also shovel a card into my deck that is 2/6 taunt for 4 mana. But poor Power Tentacles, can we at least get a discount on this card and then make it 4 mana? The card was already bad, but now it's really crying in the corner. That spell is good, but all the other spells, considering you need 6 spells, and the spells of Paladin are a little iffy, I don't think it will work. Moreover, the reward. What is Galvadan then, right? 5 mana, 5/5, Adept 5 times. Okay, you're going to get something good, because Adept 5 times is a lot. Still, he doesn't do anything directly, like for instance Calamos. 1 hex and bye-bye. Like, Amara Warden of Hope immediately does something. This is just bye-bye. The Battle Cry of Hunter does immediately something. You have the Brood of Carnessa. I don't think this guy is viable. This guy is very susceptible to instant removal. And I don't know, I have to admit, if Adapt has charge in it. Probably it does, though, because you have 10 things. Divine Shield, Taunt, I know there's Taunt, plus 3 health, plus 3 attack, plus 1/1, Wind Fury. Yeah, there's probably a charge in there, so you probably can do some damage. But still, this guy is more susceptible for direct removal than any of the other ones. I don't think it's viable. Also, you need to have a lot of minions on board. There is a spell that summons a 1 mana paladin spell that summons 2 1/1 recruits. More or less worse Living Roots, because Living Roots had the options. Living Root is going out of the meta though, but still. I think that this is not strong enough to be in the meta. I really don't think so. Even if you pair it up with a Primal Fin champion. This is a thing, a Murloc again for Paladin. And we have seen Murloc Paladin, but it's just not a good enough aggro deck. And I think Disco Lock will have a beat around the corner, as well as Pirate Warrior, which still will be around. But Death Rattle, return any spells you cast on this minion to your hand. That is pretty awesome. But it's a 1/2. You have to put a spell on it for it to be good. That means it's not a 2-drop. You have to put something on top of it. And the good spells are like the champion 4/4. They're 4 mana. That makes it a 6. It's too slow in my opinion. So, okay. Even with compared with this, if you add this card also to the deck. After you cast a spell on this minion, summon a 1/1 plant and cast another copy on it. That's really nice, but it's a 1/1 plant. If I say the only spell that works well with it, not the only one, but one of those spells that works well with it, are indeed the 4/4 and the 2/6 added, because then you have a plant for 3/6 taunt and it will summon it. That is awesome. But for the minor spells, I don't know. It's really still, if you add free attack to it, really awesome, but that's still incredibly vulnerable to board removal. I don't think this deck is viable. I may be wrong. I have the feeling it's too weak versus, for instance, the new type of freeze mage and what have you not. Versus Disco Lock that can quicker bounce out crazy stuff than this. This is too slow because on 4 mana you still have to cast a spell on top of it. It's so slow that I don't think it is viable. And slow is the name of the game actually, because it's also why I think, for instance, Druid won't work. Because it has this quest, Jungle Giants. Quest, summon 5 minions with 5 or more attack, and the reward is Barnabas. Well, I think this is more viable, and I may be wrong, because it depends highly on Barnabas and what it means. Battlecry, reduce the cost of minions in your deck to 0. only the ones in your deck, not in your hand. So you still need to draw them out in order to have this super reward, I have to admit, super reward, work. That is still slow. And because all these means have to be 5 attack, that are mainly high level means. Now there are new druid cards that have 5 attack, which are free mana but are like 5/1. The new Rager is in, but with also depth and something on top of it. Anyways, very low health. I don't think it's gonna work. It's again going to be too slow. And another thing that's too slow, or not as impactful as Healing Forever, but I might be wrong. Perhaps I just have too much love for Priest. I have to admit, I already said I'm not sure if it's going to be an A+ deck. But yeah, the slow is also the name of the game when it comes to the Hunter deck. The Hunter thing. Oh, sorry. First, the Shaman. Unite the Murlocs. 1 mana, quest summon 10 Murlocs, reward as Megafin. This isn't as difficult. Certainly not with calling the finishers and then everything is awesome. You can have a very strong turn there. A very powerful turn with 3 Murlocs on 3/3. And you cast this finishers on turn 4. Everything is awesome is then 3 mana. Turn 7, Calamals comes down, wipe the board. Megafin, by the way, is a 5 mana 8/8, I believe, if I do that on my top of my head correctly. And it gives you 10 Murlocs in your hand. I don't like that. Why? It's random. Random Murlocs, you have no idea what you're going to get. They might not synergize well. Of course, they are Murlocs, so they tend to synergize a little bit with each other. But they're also low health in general, Murlocs. And yeah. On top of that, 10 cards. I might have already a few cards in my hand, so they won't fill up. And I'm going to burn a card if I don't immediately play it. Which is possible because, once again, all these quest cards are 5 mana to play. But 5 mana, 8/8, give a lot of Murlocs, no taunt, no nothing. I don't think it's viable, and I think that the curve of Elemental Shaman is stronger, that we are not going to see this quest played. And the problem with the warrior deck now is also again too slow. Quest, play 7 taunt minions, reward summon Sulfuras. 7 taunt minions. Now there are definitely some taunt minions out there that are cheap. And with stolen goods, you can give them +3/+3. Bolster, they really are pushing this. But it's a slow deck. And the reward is amazing, but so slow. Unless you destroy your own weapon. Unless you're lucky enough to destroy it. Why? Because it's a 2 mana weapon, 2/6. 6. Notify this. Your hero power becomes deal 8 damage to a random enemy. In short, you become Ragnaros the Fire Lord without having your health set to 8 because you first had to play a 9 mana minion with 9/7 death fettles. You become... Yeah, so this is a lot better, I have to admit. And it's the only quest reward that is a lot cheaper. It's not 5 mana, it's 2 mana. But that allows you also the ability to immediately throw an Arcanite Reaper on top of it. To destroy it so your hero power becomes that awesome thing. But then again, the hero power is random. Which, please, let it be random. Let's not do it specific. But Disco Luck is going to have a lot of stuff on the board. Pirate Warrior, you're already dead by that time. I think, though, I have to admit, with the extra taunts they have added in there, perhaps Taunt Warrior can stop Pirate Warrior. But then I'm thinking about the new Freeze Mage. And you can say that has a lot of taunt, but yeah, hopefully by that time Freeze Mage has already cleared the board with all the other spells that it can use. I really think this is too slow with the other ones. Perhaps I don't understand how slow the meta is going to be, and then my predictions are going to be all wrong, and then my face is going to be there in a big ass old YouTube video saying, haha, this YouTuber got it all wrong. And in that case, hey, laugh it up, have fun. But I think these are going to be too slow. So, time for my last prediction. It's already a long ass video as it is. These are the cards you will add to current decks. First, because I think the Druid is too slow, and you're comparing it to J Druid, which cannot have fatigue going on it, and can create infinitely big creatures for 1 mana. It's not 0, but it's 1 mana, and they're larger, because you don't normally have like a 12/12 in your deck. I think it's going to be Jade Shaman still. Actually, I know this. I'm going to say this very hard. It's Jade Shaman still, and not the Quest Shaman. Urban skills. Give a friendly minion +1/+1 and gain armor equal to its attack. There are enough strong minions that you can gain 5 armor from this. That is good for 1 mana. I mean, along with the fact that it buffed your creature. If you can gain... There is a new warrior card that says 1 mana gain 5 armor. Not draw though, which is the difference with the other gain 5 armor card. That this is good. This could be better than the warrior card, and in general I think it will be, because you can also buff up something for a favorable trait. I think this card is good. There are several cards going out of Druid, mainly Living Roots. This is a more defensive option than Living Roots, absolutely, but I think this could also be a very cheap version of a Feral Rage. I'm not saying Feral Rage is going to be moving out, because 8 armor or 4 attack gives you a very nice option. But it might. It might. It might be replaced by Urban Skills. This is, I think, a comparable alternative if you don't have Feral Rage, for instance. Now, another card that is going to make people rage and going to find its way into Rogue deck is Vilespin Slayer. 5 mana, free for combo destroy a minion. We had a card that was combo slaying creature, but that was standard at 5/3. That's so easy removed. This is a bit harder to remove. This one is cheaper to cast than the assassin. This card is crazy. This is an extremely powerful turn 4 card. Turn 4? Yeah, because you're coin in and out and then do this. And otherwise, it's going to be turn 4. You're going to play your Tomb Pillager, get your coin, and whenever you want it, you just remove a minion. This card is nuts, in my opinion. In my very humble opinion. Another card that will see some play are the Tar creatures. There's also one in Warlock, which is upgraded as a 5 mana, 1 attack, get +3 attack during your opponent's turn, and has, I think, 7 health or a little 8 health. And then you have a 7 card in Warrior that gets +4 attack during your opponent's turn, and has 11 health for 7 mana. So all the Tar creatures, this is a very good anti-aggro card. I love the stat idea of it. 3 mana, 1/5 tones, that is certainly not overpowered. And then it has +2 attack during your opponent's turn. So you can take some hits and kill some of the aggression. This is an aggression killer, and I think this will see way into, for instance, Reno Lock. Or other lock decks. Cards that play slow, decks that play slow. It might be in Wild, but I think that will find its way, its home there. Another thing that I think will find its way in home into decks that are going anti-aggro is Gluttonous Ooze. Now, the community is a little bit divided about this. Battlecry, destroy your opponent's weapon and gain armor equal to its attack. Let's say we play this on turn 3, right? And let's play we play it against that good old Fiery War Axe. I've destroyed his weapon and gained 3 on. It's 1 turn later. So he got 1 swing in. Yes, but I'm destroying and his weapon, and I regained the health that he actually killed and hit me with. That is very powerful. Moreover, if it's, for instance, put in Reno Lock, where I think it will find a home, I think it works better with Curve. Because on turn 2, you normally want to tap. Now, even if he hits you again with a hit, painful, I know, you can use it later on Arcanite Reaper, or perhaps a second coin, a second Fairy War Axe. I think its armor gain bonus is worth the 1 turn wait, and it works better in Curve. Then I think this is a better card. Though I don't say that the Acidic Swamp Ooze is bad. 2 mana, 3/2. Really, that has its extreme purposes. And it's way better than the 3 mana, 4/3, get 1 durability of it. Why was that card ever printed? It's never played. Yeah, I played it in against Stormwind because that weapon always has 1 durability, and that is a freaking tavern brawl against AI, where you want a lot of destroy weapons thing. This really, that for free get 1 durability off is never as good as a 2 mana free to destroy the weapon in its entirety, because, well, you don't want to destroy Sofarus, whatever. The new weapon with 6 durability, because ouch, then it changes into a very strong hero power, but you can get that gone. We have Harrison Ford, who can get you draw. This is another card that's really good, that is good, that could find its way into a deck, and that's why I'm adding it here. Then we are going to move to the last 2 cards, which are actually Paladin cards. I don't think Paladin is going to be there. Perhaps though hand buff is, because hand buff, along with the card of 6 mana 2/6, make it a taunt, and 2/6 later, is also, plus this guy, Sunkeeper Tauren. 6 mana 3/7, taunt, battle cry, set all your minions attack to health to 3. Now this could be very detrimental in a hand buff deck, because then your minions get buffed a lot. But let's say your board took a hit. Clear, whatever. You have a spell that for 1 mana summons 2 1/1s. Make them 3/3. Let's say there's even 3 enemy opposing minions. I have 7 health. If he has no answer to do direct damage, my opponent, which I know is rare, but still, then he will kill all 3 of them. This is a very, very nice card. And if this gets buffed himself, ouch! The attack won't matter as much, but just a little bit more health, and well, that is amazing. And of course, I've talked about it already several times. This is the spell I'm talking about. Spike Rich Steed. Give it me in 2/6 and taunt. When it dies, summon Stegodon, and Stegodon is a 4 mana 2/6 with taunt. Yowza. So, I'm predicting perhaps a little bit of a hand buff Paladin, and not only played by Brian Killer, which, amazing. But still, those are all my predictions. It's a long video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the predictions. Please discuss in the comments down below. I love to see your opinions. I don't know everything. Perhaps I'm missing something. Perhaps I missed a call that everybody should see. Perhaps you saw, oh, you forgot that mechanic. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. And perhaps we can have just a nice grown-up discussion. If you want to discuss them, please be polite. But please do. Please do. I would love it. And in case my face is going to be up there on a video like this YouTuber had it wrong, then hi! Probably that thing is going to be edited out, though. Hey! I hope you enjoy Journey to Unguro. And until that time, I say, I thank you for watching. And remember, great peril yields great beauty.